Hey dear fashion bosses, how are you doing today? Good to be with you once again. In today's class, we are learning how to make this beautiful trending boo. We're also learning how to do the beading. So if this is what you like to learn to do, kindly stay to the end of this video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Click on the notification so you get notified each time we drop new video. All right, dear fashion bosses. So these are the fabrics we are going to be using for the beaded bubu you've seen already on the thumbnail and a short video on. Okay, so without further ado, I have my African print, which is the Ankara. I have this two doll face. I'm still indecisive, okay? Still contemplating which to use for the middle, okay? If I should use this because it goes with one of the predominant color in the fabric, and then with this bead, or I should use this black. Okay, you know the illusion in front, that's V illusion neckline in front, okay, where we have the bead on. So however it turns out, I'm either going to use one of this, and then this is the bead I will be using. This is a sand a size 3 sand bead. Okay, a size 3 sand bead. Okay, a size 3, please let me pause some. A size 3 glass sand bead. You can use either a size 4 bead, a size 4 crystal bead. I'm a beader, so I also know, a lot about beads. So you can use either a size 4 crystal bead or a size 6 crystal bead. Okay? And then you can also use a size 3 sand bead or C bead. Please follow what I'm saying. If there's a part you do not understand, like I always say, go over the video over and over again until you get all those names and terminologies we are using. This is a size 3 sand bead. It is known as sand bead or C bead, and this is the size 3 of it. It comes in size 1, size 2, and size 3. Okay, the next size you will see is size 4, but it's no longer a sand bead. It has graduated into being a crystal bead. So you have size 4 crystal bead, size 6 crystal bead, and the sizes keep increasing. You have the 8, 10, 12, and all of those. But for the benefit of this class, we're using a size 3 sand or C bead. All right. And it comes like this, okay, in packs. So I'll just keep all of this aside and we go straight into the cutting, the drafting and cutting of this. So I have my fabric already folded, okay. So I folded it into, I'm using a 3.5 yard of African print for this project. I folded it into 2 like this, okay, into 2, and then I folded it again this way, just the way we cut boo. But if you don't know how to cut a boo, this is just it basically. I have 3.5 yard of fabric. I folded it into 2 equal halves, okay, to get my length. The length of the boo is 67. I added 2 inches to it to make it 69, and that's what we have here. This is the entire length, okay. So having folded, we are going to start imputing our vertical measurements. So the measurements we need for this are your chest line measurements. I'm just trying to arrange the fabric properly. Our chest line measurements. We use our chest line measurement. Our chest line measurement is 8 inches. Our chest line measurement is 8 inches. So we are taking the measurement on this side of the fabric, okay? So we don't use the chalk to stain the fabric totally. Because if we drew the line from the beginning to this point, we don't need the line around here. So just put it on this point, okay? This point where you have all your folds and opening, all right? So our chest line measurement is 8 inches, okay? Chest line measurement is 8 inches. I'll chalk it. I'll try to make it bold so you can see. That's why I'm using a white chalk. The next line is our waistline measurement. Our waistline measurement is 16 inches. The next line we need is a hip measurement. Our hip measurement is from shoulder to the hip is 27 inches. So I have it here. Okay. Then the next one after the hip measurement is the nail line. The nail line. That's from shoulder to where you have your nail. The nail measurement from shoulder to nail is 39 inches. Okay, 39 inches. This is it here. And then the length of the dress. All right, dear bosses, we have our lines marked out already. This is a chest line. This is a waistline, which is 16 inches. We have the waistline, we have the hip line, and then we have the nail line, and then the actual length. Okay, so at this point we are going to measure our neckline. We're going to take our neckline. Okay, but before we go into taking our neckline, yes, let's take our neckline first. Okay, we'll come to this part of the fabric. We're going to be using a 3x3 neckline measurement. So the width is going to be 3 inches. I mark it. The depth is going to be 3 inches. What we have in front is the same thing we are having at the back. Okay, so we are actually going to be needing two different neckline. One actual neckline, and the other neckline is where the bead is going to be starting from. Okay, so we have this neckline, which is 3x3, and then we also have another one. This is the first neckline, or the second neckline, whichever, depending on how you are looking at it. Then we're also going to take another one that is 5.5 inches. Okay, 5.5 inches. So we have the 3 inches and we have the 5.5 inches. Hope you understand. And then we are going to connect it with our curve, or with a curve, or using our curve ruler to connect this. Okay, we'll also do the same to this neckline. So just bear in mind that we are having two necklines. One is 3 inches and the other one is 5.5 inches. Okay, so the next thing for us to do right now is to get our sleeve. So in getting our sleeve, we'll first of all take our shoulder measurement from the beginning of the fabric to your shoulder measurement. What we are using for this project is 8 inches. Okay, that is our shoulder measurement. So we'll chalk it 8 inches. Okay, so you determine where you want your sleeve to get to. For this project, it's getting somewhere around here, which is 11 inches from our shoulder line. Okay, but what you can also do again is to take your measurement from the center of your back. Okay, the center of your back to wherever you want your sleeve to get to. That is one option. The other option is to take your back measurement, which is 8 inches, and then go further to take your sleeve measurement, which is 11 inches. I mentioned that earlier. 11 inches, and then we are going to add maybe like a 2 inches seam allowance to it for the folding. Okay, so altogether we are having 13 inches, which is here. 13 inches. This bubble is not going to have a joining along the shoulder line area. Okay, no joining, so we are not cutting off anything or slanting it by anything. So what we have here, this is our sleeve length right now. Okay, so we are going to come down here to where we want the sleeve to get to, the opening, how wide you want the sleeve to be. So we are going to be using 10 inches. You can use either 10 or 11 inches. Okay, it depends on how big you want it to be. So we are using 11 inches, or let's use 11 inches. Okay, so this is 11 inches for the sleeve, and this is where our sleeve is. So we're going to measure everything we have around here to where the sleeve is. So what we have here is 21 inches. So we are going to bring it here, 21 inches for accuracy. Okay, 21 inches. And then we are going to connect it with a straight line. Hope you're seeing this. Sorry about that. So connect it with a straight line. Okay, this is now our sleeve line. Hope you understand. All right, so we are not going to do anything on the waistline. Okay, it's a bubble. So we are going to come to where we have our hip line. Okay, a hip line, and then you divide your hip by 4. Whatever you have, you impute it there. All right, the hip line for this project is 46, So if you divide 46 by 4, you're going to be having 11.5 inches. That is 11 and a half. So I'm going to measure 11 and a half. Here, the hip circumference, and then I'm going to go ahead to add 3 inches to it. You know, it's a boo-boo now. You need some kind of freeness and freedom and allowances around it. You can either use 4 or 3, okay? Or I can use 3.5. 3.5. I add 3.5 to it after the hip measurements. Okay, 3.5 to it after the hip measurements. 3.5. Okay, making it a total of 15 inches. Making it a total of 15 inches here. The hip circumference is 46 divided by 4. That is 11.5. Okay, plus the extra 3.5 inches we add to it. That is 15 inches. Okay, so that 15 inches right now, we are going to bring it down to our new line. Okay, hope you're understanding what I'm doing. Please, if you do not, kindly go over this video again. Sometimes it takes some people, you know, to watch over a video severally before some of these things can stick. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule about it. Some people are fast learners, some people are slow learners. Do not bite yourself or beat yourself for it. Okay, you are doing very well. God bless you. All right, so this is a new line right about now. Okay, because this boo-boo is something like, it's somewhat like a cow boo-boo. Okay, that's what we are trying to achieve. It's not just a straight line boo-boo. Okay, it has a bit of curve around the side. Okay, that's what we are trying to achieve. So this is a nail line. We are going to come up by 3 inches from our nail line. 3 inches. So you can either come up by 2 or 3 inches from your nail line. So we are coming up now by 3 inches, which is this. Okay, so this is a new nail line. We are no longer using this one. So on this new nail line where we came up by 3, we are going to transfer whatsoever we have on this hip line, which is the 15 inches. The hip divided by 4 plus 3.5 inches. Okay, for some ease and freeness, which made it 15 inches. We are going to impute that 15 inches on this nail line. Okay, but to get it a little fitted, we are going to subtract either 2 or 3 inches away from it again. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, so the total measurement we have on the hip line is 15 inches. You understand that, right? Good. So coming to the nail line now, we are going to subtract either 2 inches or 2.5 or 3 inches away from the 15 inches. Do you understand that now? Good. So we are subtracting 3 inches away from the nail line, away from the hip measurements. Whatever we have, we're going to put it or impute it on the nail line to get a form of fitness. Do you understand? Good. So subtracting 3 inches, we are going to be having 13 inches left. Okay, we are going to be having 13 inches left, or let's subtract 2.5. So we're having 13.5 inches left. 13.5 inches left. Okay, so this 13.5 inches, we are going to transfer it to the M, not without subtracting anything again. Do you understand? If you understand, please drop a yes on the comments section. Say I understand. Okay, 13.5. So this is the M. We are going to bring it here right about now. Right, and then we are going to connect from the M to the nail line with a straight line. Okay, good. So after the connection, we are going to grab our curve ruler, okay, and create a bit of curve around here, bringing this hip line to the nail line. We are using a curve to achieve that. Okay, a slight curve though. A slight curve. So after doing that, we are going to come back to where we have our sleeve line and then connect a curve to this part. Okay, we'll connect with a curve to the hip line. Connect it with a curve. can use your end to smoothen it. Okay, you can use your end to smoothen it if what the ruler gave to you, you are not pleased. That way. Okay, so this is it basically. This is how to get this boo-boo. Okay, so the next thing right about now is to cut it off. This is the sleeve line. Do not forget, we are going to notch it so we don't get confused. Okay, we are going to notch it. Make sure you notch. Okay, and then cut it straight. So that is it for that. Then bringing us to the neckline, or the main business for the day. This is our neckline. This is the center front. We are going to measure to our nail, okay, and then come up by 3 to get that V shape. So measure from the top to our nail. Our nail is 38, and then we'll come up by 3. 39, the nail is 39, so I'll come up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so from this point right now, we are going to create a V. So you place your ruler. You place your ruler on the neckline and slant it with a V down to this new line you got on your nail. Hope you understand. I just placed it this way, and then I do the slant. So we are going to cut off this part and then replace it with the fabric I showed you earlier. So this is it. We are going to cut it off. Okay, I want you to see every bit of it properly. That's why I'm doing a lot of this movement. So we are going to cut it off, but when cutting, we have to notch our neckline. Neckline 1, neckline 2. This neckline 2 is where the replacement for this V we are cutting off is going to start from. This is what we are going to use, this neckline 2. Okay, then this neckline 1 is where our beading is going to start from. Okay, hope you now understand. So when we cut, we notch and then we replace. You don't discard because you need it to cut the illusion fabric. Yeah. So I will notch on the boo-boo. I'm notching now, so you don't lose track. Good. Continue cutting. I will notch here also. That's it. Okay, so the next thing for us to do right now is to cut this replacement. All right, click on the part 2 to continue watching and learning.